I was diagnosed with psychosis at 21 years old, coming on 5 years ago. And I've been in hospital twice due to psychotic episodes. I experienced manic depression, times of mania where you feel really high and happy, or really energetic and buzzing, and then depression where you just feel really low, can't get out of bed, find bed the best place to be, or just a dark room, you know. When you get diagnosed with psychosis, it can kind of make you feel a little attacked just because of stigma around mental health being a really negative and crazy thing. So you don't really want to be around people, be seen. And so going for runs or going to the gym where there's quite a few people can be quite daunting.
So the project, I guess, on the surface is quite simple. It's co-design, which just essentially means that we listen to people and try and work with what they're telling us to develop a system of support for their well-being or a program.
Our co-design project is essentially like 4 workshops. And so co-design is kind of, it's an iterative process, and it's kind of like a conversation going back and forth. Working alongside the rangatahi, they're able to tell us a bit about what health and well-being looks like to them, what are some of those barriers and facilitators.
This is where the challenge comes in for us, is to actually take all of this data, which comes from all different aspects and comes in all different forms, and turn that into something that we can use to make change in the health system. That is going to be the challenge moving forward. But just the energy that you get from people when you give them the opportunity, or I guess the permission, for want of a better word, of expressing themselves in ways that they want to express themselves, it just changes the whole research dynamic.
It brought a lot of joy to me to see people enjoying our workshops and relating and making friends and finding common ground. It brought me hope that we're enough of us who have gone through psychosis that we can make a real change for other people who follow in the footsteps of this mental health diagnosis.
We asked League of Live Illustrators to come in and actually create a piece of art that would speak to all the experiences of rangatahi trying to support health and well-being. And essentially what this created was a focal point for the workshops. Each participant in the workshop got given like a copy of this framework. Well, they talked about being seen just from reading that framework, and that's before we even got into collecting any data. So that in itself had a huge impact.
It's just a beautiful image that I think captures what we wanted to get out of the workshop. It says how people feel, like how they can feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and people being able to look at the illustration and see their thoughts on there. Even if it wasn't their original thought, they might see it and relate.
Essentially, we wanted this piece of work to really speak to rangatahi themselves, so they could see their voices being brought to life in this amazing way. But then also, yeah, being able to communicate that to other people. So it's a really engaging piece of work. There's potential there for it to be really impactful as well going forward.
It's been really amazing to work alongside them and discover what health and well-being looks like for people living with psychosis, and that, you know, that's not the same for everybody, and what that looks like across these dimensions of health.
This project has the potential to be one more in a pool of projects that go towards elevating the voice of service users more generally in their own healthcare.
There was just a lot of commonality. Oh, you went through this and you're doing this now, so like I'm going through this, or I've been through this, and there's hope for me, you know, there's still a lot of hope.